the 49ers Cutback.
It's 49ers Cutback Podcast time, and we're going to be talking about a blast from the past. We're going to be talking about old number 21 Frank Gore, because he went on a local radio show and said that he would like to return to the 49ers. He would love to wear the number 21 jersey again if Kyle and John would give him the opportunity for one last season.
I love Frank Gore, one of my favorite players in the history of the Niners, in the history of football. I think Frank Gore is done. He hasn't averaged 4 yards a carry in how many years now? I realized he was on the Jets, so it didn't help the players around him. He did not look very good last year. I think he averaged under 3.5 yards a carry. He's still a great pass blocker, and would be a solid goal line type back. But as far as what the 49ers do on offense, none of their running backs are a step slow. And
yeah,
as much as I love Frank, I think it might be time for the inconvenient truth there to hang him up, take his place in the Hall of Fame here in 5 years. If he wants to come back and do a one-day contract, that's great. If he wants to be a coach or part of the team, great. But I hate to burst people's bubbles. I don't think he can play at the level the Niners would give him to anymore.
Signing Frank Gore and putting him in the backfield to give him carries, this is a move that this team would be making that move if there was no Super Bowl window. If you were rebuilding, you were trying to get, you were a couple of years out from getting to where you needed to be, and you're trying to bring in a locker room presence who'd be a good mold for the young running backs who you got coming up, and try and establish a leadership, that leadership culture, bring him in, kind of mold him and have him be the guiding presence and the steady hand for the locker room. They don't need that from Frank Gore. There's no need. He doesn't bring anything to the table that's going to put this team over the hump. Bringing him in would literally just be like as a thank you sort of thing. And I'm sorry, but that's money that could be going to someone else who could get us over the hump into a Super Bowl. I know he's not going to take up that much money, but that money could still go somewhere. It doesn't have to go to Frank Gore, and I love Frank Gore to death. Frank Gore is probably my all-time favorite 49ers running back, but that's only because he's the running back I grew up watching most of his games playing. That's the one I remember the most of, is Frank Gore. It's just hard. It's hard to say that. It's hard to admit that. It's hard to be honest about that. But the truth of the matter is, 49ers fans, that's what it is. He doesn't have that it factor anymore that he used to have. He's still fairly elusive. He still gets out of tackles that he shouldn't. But he ain't going to be breaking no 25, 30-yard runs after it looks like he's going to get tackled for a 2-yard loss. He's going to get back to the line of scrimmage, or get brought down for a 1-yard loss, or maybe get a yard. That this team at the running back position is not looking for that. And as much as it would be cool to have him back, and it would be a great send-off for him in his career, you could accomplish the same thing by, as Horst said, bringing him back for a one-day contract, letting him wear the number 21 jersey in the press conference one last time, and then ride off into the sunset and go let yourself be a Hall of Famer.
I think this would be the equivalent of if the 49ers had brought back Jerry Rice after the Denver Broncos, where he left Denver. I think that would be the same thing, where the organization already chose to let you go. You went and spent the twilight of your career other places. Now to have you come back and actually play, I just don't see it. They decided a while ago they needed to move on. It's a young man's game, especially at the running back position. And Frank Gore has defied all the odds and continued, just a Hall of Fame career. He's been fantastic. We all loved watching Frank, especially during the Harbaugh days, the way the run game went. He led those teams. He was so impressive the way he ran. I mean, he was just at another level. But that's not what the 49ers do now. The style of running doesn't match, especially with the skill set that he has now that he's steps slower, and he already never was the fastest guy. And he's just not the same running back. He can't give you the same things that other guys on the roster already can give you, and that they really need to add another guy that has a different skill set than Frank. So I don't see this marriage working. I don't think Frank is actually going to come back. I think Kyle and John will be more than happy to do, like Horst said, a one-day contract and him retire as a 49er, and I think Frank will do that eventually. I don't know if it's this year. I don't know if somebody's going to give Frank another opportunity. He will play if he gets another opportunity, but I think it might be time, like Horst said, hang him up, just, call it home, do the dirty bird send-off, and just, call it a career. Frank has had one of the greatest careers for a running back in a modern NFL history, and now he needs to just go to the Hall of Fame. This is a hard episode to do because he's somebody that's so beloved, but you got to be honest, and I think Kyle and John will be honest with Frank Gore, and I think that this is kind of one of those fans are getting nostalgic. Mm-hmm. Nostalgia doesn't win Super Bowls, so you can't be nostalgic. But Frank, we love you.
Yeah, this was hard to say. I mean, I still have a Frank Gore jersey hanging up in my closet at home.
I do as well.
I mean, it's not personal. We love him. Yeah. But I'm hoping the next time I pull that jersey out is for his retirement ceremony.
Absolutely.
And then maybe definitely for his Hall of Fame ceremony.
There you go.
Because he's deserving of it. I think he has the third most rushing yards all time. But time catches up with everyone. If you want to relate how old this guy is, his son is a sophomore running back at University of Southern Mississippi. I mean, this isn't baseball. Father, son don't play together.
Yeah.
No, that just doesn't happen in the NFL. And the fact that he's made it this far and played as long as he has, and for a long time played at the level that he played at, it was absolutely incredible. But him being able to play at that level is a distant memory now. It's not coming back. But Frank, we still love you. And if you love Frank Gore as much as we love Frank Gore, make sure you hit that like button right now. Subscribe to the channel also. We got free agent stuff coming out every day, it seems like now. It's coming out of our wazoo. We almost don't have enough time in the day to record all these, but we're doing the best we can to get this content out to you so we can have a discussion. Let us know how you feel about Frank Gore. I'm assuming a lot of you are going to disagree with us. You're going to want to bring him back for that nostalgia feeling because he deserves to retire as a 49er, and I think we all agree with you. We just don't think he should be on the field playing in a 49er jersey next year.
Yeah, and if you do think he needs to come back, tell us what Frank Gore adds to the roster. Convince us. I'm open to be convinced about Frank Gore. I just don't think the argument is there, but if you can make the argument, make it.
I do want to point out, I don't think if they sign him, any of us will be angry about it.
No.
But
don't be surprised if they sign him. He doesn't make it make it to the 53-man roster coming out of training camp.
I could see that happening as well.
I think that would be worse, that him getting cut, and that's what I see happening.
Well, I think at that point they go to him and he just says, "You know what? I'm going to retire." But
I think they would allow.
You're right. That would be the worst.
That would be the worst thing that could possibly happen to Frank Gore. We don't want that, Frank. We love you, man. Yep. And the rest of you 49ers fans, we love you too. Stay safe
and remember the right way.
It's always the 49er way.